Joining us now, Democratic Senator of Massachusetts Ed Markey, co-chair of the bicameral Congressional Nuclear Weapons and Arms Control Working Group. So let me start with the obvious, if I can, Senator, and it's good to see you. What you make of what you heard from the president today?
Well, neither the United States nor Russia nor China has engaged in underground nuclear testing since 1996. We're coming up to 30 years. So when he says that they are testing, that's not true. They are not testing. They have not tested. If we break out and we begin to test, it would be a gift to China. China has only done 40 underground nuclear tests. The United States has done more than 1,000. So China will welcome the opportunity to break out and do more nuclear testing themselves. So for the president, he should just understand that. It's a very dangerous ground that he would be setting, and it would only endanger our country because China and Russia would be able to more fully protect their nuclear weapons technology. However, if he is talking about nuclear-capable missiles being deployed, the reason that he should be concerned is that he has proposed a Golden Dome to be built over the United States of America that will cost $1 trillion to $2 trillion. That's going to provoke an offensive weapon response from Russia and from China. That's already in progress. It has been in progress since the United States pulled out of the anti-ballistic missile treaty. And if the president wants to reduce the likelihood that there will be a nuclear war, he should go to the negotiating table. He should make it very clear to the Russians that he'll accept Putin's invitation to have the New START treaty extend for one additional year, beginning in February of 2026. That's the only way that the last remaining nuclear arms control treaty will stay in place, and it's the best way to make sure that he does not replace that regime with Trump atomics, which winds up with more defensive and more offensive weapons being built by the United States and by our rivals around the world.
So I want to just explain sort of a little backstory of what you just said. The last remaining U.S.-Russian arms reduction agreement, New START, is set to expire February 5th, 2026. It cannot be extended. Russia has said they'd adhere to New START limits for one more year after the agreement expires. Even the president today said that he believes the ultimate goal is still denuclearization. Let me play that.
I think de-escalation would be, they would call it denuclearization, would be a tremendous thing. And it's something, we are actually talking to Russia about that, and China would be added to that if we do something.
What do you think specifically what he said today and any plans he has moving forward for testing does toward what he says is his ultimate goal, denuclearization?
Well, that's the goal, and that obviously makes the United States and the rest of the world safer. But you do not get to that point by announcing your deployment of a Golden Dome over our country, which experts say will not work. The movie House of Dynamite just made this clear once again on Netflix. It does not work to perfection, and as a result, potentially 100 million Americans would be killed, even if the Golden Dome was deployed. Experts in our country are making very clear that's the case. So if he's saying he's going to do more nuclear testing, if he's saying he's going to deploy a Golden Dome, that's only going to provoke more weapons that are developed by Russia and China. And they will not be coming to the table until he says that he is not going to deploy those offensive and defensive weapons. So if he wants to do it, he should do it right now, because otherwise he's already triggered a race, an arms race, that is making all of our arms contractors very happy, because they're going to become fabulously wealthy, but it's going to be at the expense of the safety of the American people.
Well, that and other controversies have been unfolding, and deals were made while the president was abroad. I don't need to tell you what's happening at home. The government shut down. I think it's 1 million people just across your state who could lose their SNAP benefits on Saturday. Do you see anything that is a realistic off-ramp, Senator?
Well, the easiest off-ramp for the president is to use the $5 billion, which is available at the Department of Agriculture, that is specifically set aside to take care of this event that is about to unfold, which is to take care of those who are the hungriest in our nation. In Massachusetts, 1/3 of the recipients are children, 1/3 are elderly, and 1/3 are disabled. On Saturday, that healthcare crisis, that food crisis will just explode. So the president can solve that problem just by announcing he's going to use the $5 billion which is available, and then he should come to the table, and then with one vote, we can reopen the government and ensure that the health care subsidies, Medicaid cuts, and food cuts do not, in fact, stand, and that we've reached a deal in order to make sure that the government functions properly, but not at the expense of the poorest and the least healthy in our society, because that's the position the Republicans continue to take.
I had one of your colleagues, Ben Reluhan, on in the last hour. He has a proposal that would get things going again. In any case, I wonder if his basic premise is similar to what you said. He wants to get people back into a room. He wants them to talk. Do you believe there's any chance that anything gets done until Donald Trump signs off on it? And what do you think it's going to take for him to sign off on it?
Look, right now, the House Republicans are in a political witness protection program. They haven't been in Washington for a month and a half. So it's very hard to sit down and negotiate with people who are scattered all across the rest of the country. If they're serious, come back to Washington. If they're serious, sit down. Let's resolve this issue. But right now, they are so proud of their cuts to Medicaid, so proud of their cuts to the Affordable Care Act, so proud of their cuts to the SNAP program, to supplemental food for the poorest in our nation, that they are refusing to come back to negotiate over those issues. And unless and until they're ready to do that, then we're going to continue in this Republican health care and food shutdown.
Senator Ed Markey, thank you so much for coming on the program. It's good to see you.